Hey! Welcome to the Heirloom Hour, hosted by the Anxious Tomato. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Kate.
And this is episode 14, dude.
14!
Wow, so blessed we are to have 14 different people in the gallery space or whatever. 14 different individual shows.
Yeah, no, that's
there
great.
There was collabs, there was group show, there was a husband and wife.
Oh, we're going to hit them up soon.
We are going to hit them up soon.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Make sure to crush that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fun videos. Because we're awesome.
We are awesome.
You just want to show up for us every time, right?
Yes. So we're on episode 14 now. Our last artist was really wonderful, Sheila Laffer from Portland, Oregon. And we now also have another artist group from Portland, Oregon.
In our gallery right now. It's so cool.
I suppose that this is a collaborative art show hosted by a studio space.
Which is awesome. This is the first time that we've had a group of people, well, a group of studio space, a business.
Yeah.
Essentially, a business is showing in our gallery.
I know, how fun. So cool. It just so happens to be a tattoo business.
Which is even cooler.
Which is also a form of art. We're being open-minded.
Yes,
support local. Like, getting a tattoo on your body forever is supporting your local artist.
I love that we have tattoos and we're literally covering all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty covered up right now. So this month, the month of April, we are featuring Stillfire Studios.
With Melissa Varney and Ellie Chase.
Yes, so Melissa's the owner. She is a strong, independent woman who opened up her own tattoo studio about last year, I believe. She started in the end of 2021. Mm-hmm. The studio looks wonderful. I've been there a few times now because I do have artwork from her on my body. Yeah. I also helped out with the gallery. Yeah, so very honored to be working in this circle. But I also know Melissa really well. So again, thank you to our cool friends who participate. Yeah. So we're going to do a gallery walkthrough.
Yeah. Cool.
Great. So this is a nice photograph here of Melissa's artwork. This is one of her recent ones. So here we are, Stillfire Studios. So an extra special thank you to the studio for participating.
Oh, it's so good.
Melissa and Ellie had this cute little bio thing that's like very personal.
It's super cute. No, and I just love how determined and strong they are in the passion that they do. If you read their little bio, it definitely comes through.
There's a lot of that in the interview too. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. They're very, very proud of the things that they do.
Yeah. So here they are. This is them looking all stoic and super excited. Melissa, again, is the owner. So she's been tattooing for a very long time, and she does a really good job. She's a master at color. Yeah. I mean, seriously.
They're very rich. I don't know what she does or what she uses.
Regular tattooing.
And it's just all about technique?
It could be more about technique. We'll have to ask her, honestly.
Yeah.
So technically, since they're tattoos, they don't really have a title. They're not like a physical piece of artwork. They're, these are part of somebody's body. It lasts with you.
Yes, it does.
So, beautiful tattoo here. Great use of color. Wonderful, excellent shading. I mean, look at that crystal.
Oh, I love this one.
Look at that crystal.
I like the slug. The slug is so cool. I love her 3-dimensionality, I guess, is wonderful. She really is able to make things kind of jump off the page.
Yeah.
Off the page, off the skin.
It's kind of like a layering almost, but like a foreground and background kind of thing that's done really well here with the tattoos.
For sure, yeah.
Obviously the slug is the focal point, and then the beautiful design in the background. And
the frame.
I really like this tattoo.
I know,
I love that the slug kind of looks like a giraffe.
With his little spots.
He does have little spots. So this one was done in 2020, July 18th of 2020.
Mm-hmm. I think most of this work is her recent artwork, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Most of it within the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Which I think is
definitely
great.
Moth, November 22nd, 2021. Love this tattoo.
You gotta love the death
moth. I am, yes, a fan of moths, and also just black.
The black and white is
shading.
Beautiful.
Yeah. With things like this, yes, they do include white highlights, but the skin is what's creating like the paper tone or like the tone of the
piece, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I do a lot of artwork like this. I use the color of the paper a lot in my work to be like part of it. Yeah. As well as, all this intricate shading and little tiny pieces here.
I freaking love it.
Oh my gosh.
How long does something like that take?
I don't know how long this took. I'm going to guess this probably took 4.5 to 6 hours.
Yeah. But maybe again, in one sitting.
Yeah. Most likely this was done in one sitting.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the background for the advertising that we did for it, which I really, really liked.
It went well with the color scheme.
It did. No, and it's so realistic.
Yeah. Melissa is an exceptional tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Exceptional. Like, absolutely amazing. Yeah, look at this like nebula flame. Like,
so is the pentagram-esque thing behind the eye in negative? So is that the skin tone below?
I think it's probably the skin tone here.
Okay.
She utilizes white highlights in the
In
work,
her stuff.
but it does help with three-dimensionality. I mean, on the skin. Like, I think that white highlighting is
super worth it.
A good attribute.
Yes.
You know? Okay, what happened here? July 15th, 2021.
This one's so cute.
It's
this
so
is very,
cute.
very spring.
Yes. It is very spring.
I love it.
I like the eyeball.
I do like the eyeball.
The eyeball, it looks glossy to me. I think that that's great, like emulated very well in the tattoo.
And I think that the kind of the pressure of the cat on the grass with there's a dimension there. There's a dimensionality there that
it's displacing the grass.
That
and that's
conveys very well. Yeah, for sure. Her shading is amazing. Like on top of being good with color, like the combination of shading and color.
I mean, think about it. You and I can like draw and shade on paper, but on a person's skin,
like I don't know. You're gonna try.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
One day you're gonna try.
April 11th, 2021. This is a thigh piece.
Yes, and it's very Mucha style. Well, with the hair, look at the hair. It's very Art Nouveau.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's where that's inspired from.
Okay. It's very like flat and classical, right? And it's like kind of like winey colors.
Yeah. Well, not even. Well, the colors are usually actually more muted than that. This is very vibrant comparatively, but the style of the hair, where it's like olives the over, and stuff. Where with the hair kind of like laying over itself and looking flat as opposed to looking three-dimensional is very much his style.
It's using a negative space to make it look like a positive space.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. It's like almost like tarot cardy or zodiac.
Very tarot card like, I think, for sure. I like that she's kind of a tree.
Yeah, she is the tree.
Is this like a Gaia piece?
Potentially.
It feels very Gaia-esque.
October 28th, 2021. These two tattoos are on the same person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on this person's thighs.
That's
both
really
sides.
cool. So
they were done.
Both of them kind of look tarot card-esque. That's lovely. But the themes are very different. So one's kind of space, and the other one is kind of nature.
I can't even draw bubble soap like that on paper.
Yeah,
I can't even do
like
that
at her thighs.
Yeah. Cool. Hiding the Gucci bits.
It's very classy. She does a really good job.
Classy, girl. Yeah, and this one kind of has these little card-like
edges and
attributes in the little corners.
June 4th, 2021.
Sorry, June 4th. The smoke. The way that there's like a smoke running through them.
Which is interesting. I wonder why there was smoke running through it.
I mean,
it's
a filler, right?
Yeah. Well, and did she just create this piece and this person decided to get it on them, or did they ask her to do roses and she came up with this?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, because this tattoo is part of another tattoo that's Oregon state
the next
shape
one after that. Yeah.
So that had something to do. Maybe these roses are specific to Oregon. August 6th, 2021.
This is kind of Viking.
Okay, this must have been the start date on this piece because there's no way this took one day.
Or the finish, that could have been the end date. Like they finished it on August 6th. Because that's when it was.
Or the finish date.
Yeah,
yes, right. Like, holy crap. I mean, hours and hours. And
months and months.
Months and months. I spent hours on a painting and imagined that.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. No, it's amazing. The freaking wolves and the
bird crow texture.
And this guy has the wolves on his chest, yeah?
Yeah, so
which is I think the next one,
is part of this
tattoo, which is the whole thing. Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
It is so cool.
And it's not even finished. Look at the paws.
It is not even finished.
He's going to get his whole body just completely covered.
Why would you not?
Well, I can imagine another sleeve. So he's got a blue sleeve, so he's probably going to get a red sleeve.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
That'd be really cool. If not, you should do that if you're watching this.
So I was here, Stillfire Studios had the Anxious Tomato come out and do the photographs, and we did like a little meet and greet, and these people came with their tattoos. This person is a YouTuber.
Really?
And recorded the whole time that they were there. Yes, this person was doing their own like YouTube recording of it. I think they were wearing a GoPro or something like that.
Cool. This is the other part of the flower
yeah.
one, yeah. So established in 1970. I'm assuming that's a birthday.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Birth year, anyway.
It's definitely not when Oregon was established.
It's not. No. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the way the leaves are done here,
I know.
is very great.
She's
attracted
got such
to the
amazing
leaf
control.
line.
Yep. And the gradient that's happening
through the outline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gradients are hard with paint. I can't imagine how hard they are with needles on skin.
Yeah, it takes hours and hours and days and weeks.
And days and days and days.
You know, you get better as you go, right?
That's true.
So this doesn't have a date on it, but it was recent. It was in the last couple of months. It was finished on Melissa's sister, I believe, and was shown at a tattoo convention in Oregon.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that was really rad. Also, beautiful tattoo. Mm-hmm. Lots of different things going on here. There's round shapes with highlights, and there's shading, and there's gradients, and
like motion,
exquisite
just movement, and all that great stuff. No, it's so great.
Tattoo work, my friends.
It's a mermaid in a bottle.
I'm gonna run you the right way. All right, so now we're moving on to. Now we're moving on to the second part of this art show.
Ellie Chase.
So Ellie is Stillfire Studios' apprentice. Mm-hmm. So she just started there.
And that's, I mean, if she's just started, that's good.
Well, I suppose that she has done a little bit of tattooing, but this is the kind of work she's putting out recently. Mm-hmm. You know, this is one of her tattoos that she wanted to share with us.
And that's lovely.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Those gradients, I mean.
Yeah.
It's very nicely done. It's very three-dimensional. It pops off the skin well.
Okay, but Ellie is a wonderful, absolutely wonderful illustrator. Yeah. This is a drawing. I'm not sure if it was digital or not, but it is a drawing.
I just love the concept. Is so cool.
Right?
It's like fox wearing a deer skull. Ooh. With candles on the that's so I see stuff like this and I'm like, I just want to go swim around in your brain. Like I want to go have a dream in wherever this information comes from because it's just amazing.
Well, check out these finished pieces.
I know.
Did.
When she starts doing that on tattoos, it's gonna be so lit. It's gonna be so cool.
Absolutely boss.
Yeah. And very original. You don't see that anywhere on tattoos. So if she can transfer it over,
and this framed idea where the subject is framed is it's good for tattoo work.
Yeah, it's to have a
it's like
signature
enclosed
space. Yeah,
it's like it's a piece itself.
You can start with the full outline and then work your way.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Save the bees, you guys.
Save the bees.
I hope you might.
On Clover.
Aw.
Her colors
great
are
concept.
Interesting. Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is a muted maybe color scheme.
Well,
and it's
go ahead.
That's fine.
Okay. It's the black background versus a light background. Mm-hmm. I really, really enjoy that about it. That it's more saturated in shadow than it is in color.
Right. Yeah, it does. The black, there is a lot of use of black shadowing more than there is color in general.
Yeah. Which would make for an amazingly long tattoo. You start with the shadow and then go.
You kind of do. When you're doing a tattoo, you do the line and then the shading, and the shading's usually black, and then you go in
color over everything.
You kind of fill with color. Or so that's what I gathered.
And then it's like a coloring book at that point, but not really.
Rabbit from
Shangri-La.
Shangri-La. Gosh, the eyeballs on the mushrooms are so
woke
wild.
Rabbit.
So woke.
It's so woke.
Great illustration.
Yes, and this
so much texture.
What is that dotted texture thing called?
Yes.
That you see in old comic books?
It's called halftoning.
Halftoning.
It's called a halftone.
Okay.
It's when dots don't overlap, but they sit next to each other, and it causes your eye to vibrate, and it's called a halftone. Yeah. So there's
halftone action.
Sort of, yeah. Like it's the shape or it's it's the grid of a halftone. Yes, that's what that is. Yeah.
I love that.
Fun fact of the day. I got it. I pulled that one out of my.
I knew you knew what it was because you told me what it was before.
Oh, I use a halftone brush on my Procreate.
Yeah.
So right, and then when you were a traditional illustrator, like in the '90s, you had to draw that stuff yourself. Or you would screen print it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
But you
would lithography print it. which is a stone. Use a stone to make a print. But again, exquisite artwork, wonderful, so much texture, so much going on.
Oh yeah,
a lot going on.
There's like the universe happening behind the rabbit and like mushrooms and woke rabbit. I would have called this like
woke rabbit.
Woke rabbit.
All right, yeah. Okay, so this was a piece that I personally really liked. I don't know. I maybe I'm just attracted to 8 balls
and snakes.
Absolutely,
you also like
I have that.
Yeah.
Melissa just gave me a snake tattoo recently. So here we are, coming full circle with the snakes, which life and death.
Life and death,
right?
Yeah, mountains and
a bear and a bear skull, mountains, the woods, time fleeting.
Yeah, there's like a desert in there. Some crystals.
Is that a mountain? Is that a peak in Utah? Is that a plateau from Utah? She's living in Portland now and moved from another part of Oregon that was more south, I believe.
Okay, they have things like that there, yeah.
Plateaus, huh?
Yep, plateaus and stuff. But then the fact that it like sifts into a desert is really cool. Daytime to nighttime.
Sure, the changing tides,
life
right?
and death, yep. No, that's great.
Lots of texture again. Very intricate texture on all of that. Oh, and we're back at the dagger. So that's it for the gallery.
We do have an interview for her.
Yeah, so her and Ellie did a nice interview together the last time that I visited them in Portland actually 2 times ago. Great interview, so we're going to play that for you guys.
Stillfire Studios came to be when you just get to a point where change is 100% necessary. You get inspired by good situations, bad situations, and pandemic situations. And I wanted to create my own baby, my own creative explosion of ideas and feelings, and create a space that was safe and productive. And that's how it came to be. Stillfire, I wanted something that was equally passionate and almost aggressive in nature, but not in a bad way, and that's the fire part. And the stillness was tranquility, balance, symmetry, and to combine both ideas in a very yin-yang kind of way. That's what I wanted the feel of the studio to be.
So yeah, I guess I started my journey with tattooing by going to tattoo school here in Oregon via the law. And from there, I've got my apprenticeship here with Melissa, and I'm trying to find a way to make my art more productive and my bigger part of my life and financially. Yeah. Well, I think tattoos are a really good way also to share my art with people, and it's like a huge honor for somebody to want to wear my pieces for the rest of their life, like a badge of honor, and I think that's a really special part of it.
When I first started tattooing, I wasn't taking it seriously. Drinking 5 to 7 days a week, like trying to live like a rock star tattooer life, like thinking like that was like the key into the cool crowd. And it wasn't until I realized that I started concentrating on the actual quality of my work and the art itself that I started learning how to tattoo and draw. And that took, a good 5 or 6 years into the industry. And I'm about this February is 12. I know, right next month. And so my endeavors, my journey is just, I guess, like as I became like a happier person, the tattoo industry provided me with an outlet of expression. And you just start growing, I guess, with personal life situations that come into play. And you want to get more serious about it, and passionate about it, and not just being mediocre. I guess it just came from like my endeavor, like my journey, right? It just came from the want to not be mediocre and to like be the best I can possibly be in something. Like Japanese culture, like a lot of every bit of business, you try your best and you do it your entire life, pursuing this one thing. And that's why they're masters at a lot of that stuff. Like, why can't we be like that? To have like a different reason why we do things, like personal explosion, right? And even working with other creatives. Before I got into the tattoo industry, I wanted to do art as a way of making a living. middle school, high school, it was always my focuses. However, I wanted to do animation, graphic design, went and got an associate's degree. And upon graduating, literally the semester I graduated, the month that I was graduating, tattoo kind of fell into my lap. I didn't have any tattoos. I didn't even want any tattoos. It was never on the radar. This one person was just like, I want to teach you how to tattoo, and open an all-female tattoo parlor, which didn't happen. They were just scratchers. They didn't know what they were doing. But that's what I was doing prior, was trying to focus on how to make a living doing fine art, right? And how to be happy doing fine art. And I thought the answer was literally graphic art. And when this fell into my lap, I realized that this was actually the answer.
I have a sort of similar journey. It just took me a lot longer to get there. I have a BFA in illustration, and for a long time I was doing illustrative work for concerts and posters for bands and such, using all traditional media up until about 2 years ago, colored pencils and markers. Now I switched to the iPad and the Procreate, and things have been it's hard to look back, to be honest, after that.
Wow.
But
Work smarter, not
I started thinking about tattooing as a way, again, to be marketable for my art. I've tried a lot of other options, and this just seems to be a good fit for me. I love people, and working with somebody else's idea to make it a visualization for them is like a huge passion of mine, being an illustrator. So yeah, working with people's ideas and making them a reality that they're gonna want forever it's a dream come true.
My advice would be pursue it like our need for water. It needs to be every day, all the time. Think about it all the time, and it's constructive. It's not an anxiety. Recently, there was part of this book that I read it says that expression was the cure for depression. And so if you want to creatively pursue any industry, including the tattoo, you need to be doing it all the time. Get past that little voice inside your head that says you're not good enough. How stupid are you to try to draw? You've never done it before. Two of my tattooers that I worked with in the past, some of my colleagues, some of the best tattooers in our industry right now, never drew until they wanted to learn how to tattoo when they were 23 years old, one of them. 23, never picked up a pencil, never did anything. So my advice would be to do it, just do it. Quit talking about it and just do it.
Great. Yeah, I guess I would agree. Like, once I decided that this was the direction that I was gonna go, I didn't let anybody tell me no. Like, if I for money or time or any of that, like, I spent half my time coming up here to go to school and working a normal job. It was a lot of work to get to where I am, but I'm like super stoked about it. Like, I feel like it's a lot to do, but I don't know.
It's for a point and purpose.
Right.
And a lot of hard work, but even in that, like, you get so proud of yourself, and you realize, like, you become empowered. You realize that you actually can draw if you teach yourself, and you can be successful if you continue to pursue and ignore adversity, right? And like you said, don't let somebody tell you can't do it or belittle you.
And I think as long as it's part of your passion, like, I draw because I love it, and it's just, I can sit at a table for 10 hours a day and not, if my arm didn't fall off, I'd stay longer, so.
Great.
Good answer.
As a young lady, I used to love killing it at pool and bar games and beating dudes at what they do, including drinking, which I did very well. However, going into an industry where it's male dominated, and actually doing it in a professional where you have a focus, has been extremely hard. You have to be better in a way, and you also have to let go of the need to be recognized. It almost it solves all that need to want to be better than them, by just doing it. The empowerment that comes from it, to be successful and realize that you don't really need anybody, and that could be for males too, but I guess that's just for everybody. I
feel that this day and age with social media, there's just this constant need to like fulfill these big shoes of like Instagram and Facebook. There's all these amazing artists that have 60,000 followers, and they just are out of this world, and you just think you're never going to be like as good as them, and it just really brings you down sometimes in the morning. But I mean, once you realize that that's what the issue is, like, your, self-worth is a lot better. But yeah, that's definitely an anxious feeling I get all the time.
Absolutely. Like you said, once you realize there's an issue, then you can find a solution or a resolution to the problem. The need to be the best is crushing, and like the social media aspect. I didn't post anything about Stillfire Studios when I was almost 3 months tattooing here, because it needed to be perfect. The ceiling needed to be perfect. Right. I had to get every little sinew. Yeah. Like even now, I'm just like looking around like, oh fuck, that needs to be perfect. It needs to be perfect.
Yeah.
And so I didn't post, and I realized one day that it had been almost 3 months that I hadn't done that, and then I realized I am so terrified to be judged. I am terrified to be critiqued by my colleagues and strangers who don't even have, a say in it, clients, and to be critiqued in a bad way. Like I wanted their approval and their good opinion, and I wasn't ready for it. And then I realized, why? Like, why do I need there? I just need to do it. And when I did it, the world didn't fall apart. I posted about the studio, and the world was just fine.
It's actually great.
It was great.
Yeah.
And so overcoming myself and the inner dialogue that is just so harsh.
Yeah.
That puts way too much pressure. Yeah, just telling that little girl inside of us, it's okay.
Yeah. You always feel like it's not good enough, but it actually is great. That's what everybody always tells me. I'm like, but that one line. And they're like, no, it looks fine. I'm like, oh, yeah.
And the price of perfection, right? Yeah. And it's good to have like people when you work with, like that all share that same feeling of pressure. And this is in, I think, all art. Don't you agree? When we are able to get together and talk about it, then we can also help each other heal and be like, oh no, remember we're crazy. Remember we're totally doing a good job. Remember that? Like, keep on going.
It's nice working with other artists too, because you can bitch about that one thing, and like they'll just be like, I know it's cool though, and then you're like, just thanks for letting me say that.
Yeah. We are open to all kinds of art forms. Okay, like anyone who has any kind of idea. So our next show is a photojournalism show, and that's like the first time we're doing anything that has writing in it, although we're open to anything. Like if you do something that's unique or different and you want to show your work, we're happy to walk you through that process with us.
And like 3-dimensional things, we're open to sculptural, well, and like doing, instead of just
installation artwork,
but instead of doing a flat gallery, we do videos. You do a video gallery where you can actually see the 3-dimensionality of the things that we're showing. So
we will do it all.
Love
maybe
to do anything.
One day the Anxious Tomato will have a virtual reality space. We're in the metaverse.
Hell yeah.
Find us in the metaverse. Yeah. That's our next thing, you guys.
Oh, man. Hopefully our next thing is an actual gallery, and then we can just have people have stuff in a gallery, and it's going to be great.
We're having an in-person event.
So soon.
Next month.
May 22nd. Sunday, May 22nd at Locust Cider
in
Tacoma, Washington on 6th Avenue.
Night.
It's a gallery night. We're going to have
We have multiple artists. We are going to have snacks.
We're going to have some snacks. We're going to have multiple artists there. Multiple artists work up, at the very least. And it's going to be great. We're really excited about it. They are so excited to work with us, you guys. We cannot believe, we are so honored. We are so honored to have them reach out to us and want us to help them.
So come check it out. Great. Stay tuned for Sophie Bonamy, photojournalism show.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yay. And thank you for tuning in to episode 14 to see Stillfire Studios, Melissa Varney and Ellie Chase art show.
It's gonna be great.
We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. See you later.